Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, everybody tells you to move to Italy and retire in Italy. And of course, I tell you that too all the time. Like every time I, start a video, I'm like, hey, move to Italy. Anyway, yeah, and the thing is that nobody tells you where to move to or what to expect when you get there a lot of times. Like, what are the pluses and minuses of each region? Italy has a bunch of regions, and they all used to be like little states, right? So they're all very different cultures, sometimes even different languages. So it could be a little bit of a trick to try to figure out what region you particularly, specifically would do best in. So today I'm breaking down the 8 most popular destinations for retirees and that when they come to Italy, and what are the pluses and minuses, so you kind of at least get an idea. This is by no means a comprehensive deep dive into each region, which if you like, put it down in the comments and I will do a comprehensive deep dive on each region. It's just an overview to give you an idea. Now, I do want to say that this is internet research and I'm going to be plugging in my own personal observation and experience. Sometimes I agree with the internet, sometimes I do not, and I will make it clear when I hit that point. So the first one we want to look at is Tuscany, and of course we love Tuscany. We moved up here a year ago. We've been happy as clams ever since, and we consider it home now. It's very wonderful here. A lot of creativity, a lot of, well, creativity in everything, in food, in culture, in design, architecture, everything. It's just wonderful. It's a very artsy place, very full of a lot of creatives, we'll just say that. Some of the pluses: beautiful hill towns and countryside, obviously. Pointy cypresses, that's another big plus. And excellent food and wine. Excellent food and wine. Oh my gosh, we're in the Val di Chiana here in Torrita di Siena, and even in the Val d'Orcia and the various valles around the area, valleys, the food is unbelievable. Now, the Val di Chiana is specifically known for the Chianina beef, which are big white cows, amazing white cows. They're born and bred very, very carefully, and you can see them when we're driving from here to Sinalunga. You can see them, over there being cows, eating, doing what cows do. They're very beautiful, but they also make some of the best beef in the world. The Chianina beef is unbelievable. So you have that. You've got the amazing cheeses, and I will tell you about a beautiful cheese plate I got at one of the restaurants in Montepulciano. There are various local cheeses, and they served it with honey and nuts. Oh, so good. The wines, I mean, you have all of those cantinas in Montepulciano and all through the region. I can recommend Poliziano because it's very good. The Day Vineyard, Cantina Day, molto buono. Anche in Montepulciano di Ricci is another great winery. These are the ones we personally tasted and we love, 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 love. Even the inexpensive Chiantis in the supermarket are wonderful. And I have to tell you a little story. I went into the supermarket here. There's this cute little couple that run it. They're just adorable, just yummy. And I said, oh, I need some wine. I was having some people over. I don't know what to do, and they're all like, 8, 10, 12 bucks. And I'm like, I don't. She goes, oh, try this Chianti. It was like, I think 11 or 12 bucks. And people like it. Okay, great. I got this Chianti. It was amazing, and for 12 bucks. So that's good. The Vino Nobile is fantastic. And we had, when we bought our house here, the owner left us a grota full of wine, like old wine going back to the 70s. And there was a whole thing. And so we're like, wow, okay. And 2 weeks ago, we had our friends over, Barbara and Jamie, lovely people. And we said, let's crack open one of those bottles and see if it's any good, because it's kind of a crapshoot at this point. So we cracked open this, I forget what it was. Anyway, it was pretty amazing. So we poured it, and at first I go, oh, it's turned, it's bad. And then you let it sit for a little while. Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable. And it was 53 years old. So we still have more in our cellar. And every so often we crack open a bottle of wine. Some are good, some are really, really bad. But it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. But all of the wines that I've tasted around here, I don't think I've tasted a bad one, except for one of the ones that the cork had disintegrated, and it was like, I don't know how many years old, but in our own cellar, that's where it was. Also, it's rich in culture and museums, and that is true. If you go to Florence, oh my gosh, you need days, weeks to explore Florence. You've got the Accademia, you've got the Uffizi, you've got the all those other like little tinier ones where you can see some Donatellos and Michelangelos that you don't expect to see, things that you've never seen before. And those are all in Florence. And you've got other little places, like example, in our church here in Torrita, there's a Donatello, there's a relief, a Donatello relief. And I was looking at it the other day, I did a video on it quite a while ago. Unbelievable the level of detail. It's just crazy. And everywhere you go, there's history, there's Etruscan history. I mean, it's quite amazing. I could go on, but yeah, rich culture and museums. Another thing, good train connections. Yes, we do have a little 2-car train that comes to Torrita. It's really cute. I haven't tried it yet. It runs only maybe 3-4 times a day. We just drive to Chiusi, 20 minutes from here. We drive to Chiusi. You can leave the car there. You can go wherever you want in Italy, wherever you want in Europe, and it's very, very accessible. Another thing about Tuscany is there's 4 distinct seasons here. It's not just hot, then cold, which some places can be. I do remember seeing very distinct seasons. We came here right before the Palio in March, so we had in spring, and you can just watch as all of those poppies come out, and they're so gorgeous, all red, red and greens, and then come summertime, it gets hot. It's hot, you know, summertime right now, pretty hot. The fall, stunning, stunning with the light changing and that golden amber light. And then of course winter, it's a little chilly in winter, but it's nice. It's a nice place to be. Some of the miners of Tuscany, it's one of Italy's most expensive regions, although you can find deals in these little hill towns. You can find them all over Italy in the hill towns if you want to live in a hill town. Property prices are high, especially in popular towns. Florence, give me a break. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Lorella told me, she says, my neighbor just bought a garage. You know what they paid? I said, well, I have no idea. She goes, they paid 99,000 euros for a garage. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Considering you can buy a garage somewhere around here for 15, 20,000 euros. So just keep that in mind. But who wants to live in the crowded villages? Why don't you find a nice little town with a nice community and move there? The other downside, hot summers. Okay, yeah, but a lot of places have hot summers in Italy. Another one is bureaucracy can be frustrating. Tell me something new. And the inland towns can feel quieter in winter. Yes, that's true. A lot of people, when it gets cold, they just shut and stay inside. Totally fine. But I'll tell you, when it's crisp and cold outside and the air is so clear, I don't think there's any prettier place than Tuscany. Let's look at Puglia. We love Puglia. Some of the pluses, better property value. That's true, especially if you look in the towns that are not popular. For example, Mola di Bari is very inexpensive and I think undervalued at this point, although it's catching up. It's 1 train stop away from Polignano a Mare, which is so expensive. You would pay probably double in Polignano for the same place that you would buy in Mola di Bari, and it's so close together. So there is that. Just do your homework. Another plus is got a gorgeous long coastline, many beaches, very beautiful. And one of my favorite pluses is the wonderful seafood. Like we were there a week ago, and we went to this restaurant in Mola di Bari that's called La Rotonda, probably because that's rotund is what you're going to be when you leave. I know we were. Anyway, I had some of the best fish there. One was called a dorata, I think, or dorado, I don't know. Anyway, he corrected me and I forgot what it was, but it was so good. It was soft. I think they steamed it and then crisped it underneath a broiler or something. Oh, so delicious. And then the next day, like we went to the same restaurant because it was so good and the seafood was unbelievable. It was fresh. And they have that seafood, that fish shop right there. So they pull the fish out, they sell at the fish shop. All the restaurants have super fresh fish. Another plus, warm climate. In winter, it is warmer in Puglia. As you go farther south, it gets warmer. Another plus is friendly communities. They are friendly. They're a little bit more reserved than, say, Calabria, who is just, Calabrians are like, you know, and I love that about them. A little more reserved, but once you get to know them, they're actually very nice and it's a beautiful community. Now, another thing is increasing international airport access. It already has good airport access. You have Bari, you have Brindisi. One thing that's not played up, and I didn't even see it on the internet, but I thought it was a very important point for those who like to travel and want to, you know, a place to start your travel from and then go from there. Cruise lines stop in Bari. And Bari has not only like the major cruise lines, but they also have the Grimaldi lines, which Grimaldi goes off and into all of the areas in the Adriatic, it goes in over to Greece and that kind of thing. So many opportunities for travel just heading out of Bari. So that's something you want to keep in mind as well. Minuses, very hot summers, yes. And it's humid when you're by the sea. The internet says less public transport. I didn't see that when I was there. I mean, of course, the inland areas, it's going to be less public transport. Mola di Bari has a train station right there, and everything is walkable distance. You can walk right to the train station, get on a train, end up wherever you want. So in my experience, I have not observed less public transport. Fewer English speakers, yes. Although, I will say, when you compare it to Calabria, there's a lot of people there that want to practice their English with you, and it's very sweet. Like the macelleria, I'd go in, he'd be like, "Buongiorno, signora," and I'd go, "Oh, buongiorno," with my American accent. "What would you like today?" And I'm like, "Please speak to me in Italian, I need to practice." But they want to practice their English, and it's very sweet and very nice. Another point here is healthcare quality varies by area. Now, I will say that I was transported over to Puglia for my ankle intervention. I just dusted my ankle, and I had a really great surgeon, Dr. Mori. He was the top of the line guy, and put in plates and screws, and he just puzzle pieced my ankle back together. And although, it's still going to be painful and whatnot, going downstairs and all of that sort of thing, it's a way better result than I expected because it was pretty bad. So I will say, healthcare varies by area. How is that different from anywhere? I loved that hospital. It was in Murgia. So if you are interested in Puglia, Murgia is about an hour away from Mola di Bari and right that area along the coast. So it's not super inaccessible. There are pronto soccorsi, which are like emergency rooms closer in Mola and the other areas down by the coast. So you can get your emergency care wherever you are and then be transported to Murgia if you need to go to a really good hospital. All right, let's look at Abruzzo. Pluses, affordable homes. Yes, they are. Mountains and beaches within an hour. Yes, Abruzzo has beautiful mountains and beautiful beaches. We just drove through there on the way back from Puglia. Very similar to Calabria, very beautiful, and the beaches just looked so inviting, I will say that. It has a lot of national parks. That's a very nice thing. Authentic Italian lifestyle, which I think you can find anywhere in Italy, to be honest, except for maybe the big cities. You can still find it in the big cities if you look and you talk to the locals. There's less tourism, okay, plus or minus, I don't know. Tourists are tourists, you like them or you don't, it's up to you. Good value restaurants, yes, that's true. I think everything tends to be a lot cheaper in Abruzzo because there's fewer tourists. They don't get so much business, so they don't put the prices up. And the locals are friendly. That's what we've found. I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time in Abruzzo, but the people we've met from there have been very nice. Minuses, fewer expats. Okay, you just talk to the locals. More Italian language required. Yes, but you must speak Italian if you're going to live in Italy. You must. There's no getting around that. Winters can be cold inland. Yes, that's true. Entertainment options are fewer. Maybe. I don't know that that's the case, because from what I've seen all over Italy is every little town has its own entertainment. Sometimes it's difficult to find on the internet, and that's why Pete's new app that he's working on is an event app that gives you everything. You don't have to go to the Abruzzo website. You don't have to go to the Tuscany website. You don't have to go to the little town of so-and-so and such website. You just go, okay, what's happening in Abruzzo? Boom, everything, so that you can scroll through, pick what you want. So I don't think that the entertainment options are fewer. I just think they're not as readily promoted on the internet. We'll just say that. Okay, let's look at Sicily. Sicily, very beautiful. The pluses are warm winters. Yes, the winters are warmer down south, no question. Affordable property, yes, but don't go to Ortigia. Ortigia is expensive, and any of the cities down there could be expensive, but you can find more affordable properties in Sicily. It has an incredible history. That is absolutely true. Sicily is just, if you really scratch the surface and start looking into the history, it is really quite interesting. Sicily has beautiful beaches. Oh my gosh, yes, they have gorgeous beaches along. And so much of Sicily is coastline. It's an island. International airports. Yes, they do have international airports there, and their train system is quite good too, from what I've heard. All right, some of the minuses. Summer heat can be intense. We were in Ortigia in June, and the B&B had a very weak sort of passive air conditioning system that really didn't cut the heat. So be aware, it's going to be hot in summer there. The infrastructure varies. Yes, it does. It varies a lot, okay? The little hill towns and some of those might be lacking, so it's something you want to look into. Longer travel times to mainland Europe. Yes, that's true, although with the trains you can get there. It's not a huge problem, plus you have airports, so there you go. Bureaucracy may be slower. Yeah, I haven't spent a whole lot of time in Sicily. I have researched the €1 Italian houses quite extensively, and I can say that there's probably, based on what I've seen, a lot of bureaucracy down there. Driving can be challenging, yes, especially heading toward the smaller hill towns. Some of the roads can be pretty brutal. However, they do have good highways, so that's something that you want to go there and check it out. Some areas have higher unemployment. Yeah, but if you're going to be an expat and you're retired, it's really not going to be something that's going to worry you that much. All right, let's look at Calabria. We know a lot about Calabria. Here's some of the pluses. Some of Italy's cheapest real estates, and that is true. Even along the sea, you can find beautiful apartments and houses for very little money. The crystal clear beaches. I mean, the beaches are stunning in Calabria. In fact, all of Italy, we're getting ready for that to happen. Ferragosto, which is August 15th, I think it is, Ferragosto. But even the first 2 weeks in August, they all go down to Calabria and bake on the beaches and all of that. So that's quite a draw. Calabria is known for its beaches and its beautiful scenery. Another thing, mild winters. Yes, they are very mild, especially if you're on the sea. We lived in Santa Domenica Talau and then later lived in Scalea. The difference in temperature and wind and everything else, just from the hill town down to by the sea, was quite big. And it was so much warmer down in Scalea. It was very, very nice. So understand that. Little mass tourism, that's changing. That's changing wildly, especially in the area of the Riviera Cedri down there, where we were. People are starting to really look at Calabria and go, wow, we need to go there. It's so beautiful. And it's starting to come into its own. There is a relaxed lifestyle, which is very nice. So many times you come running up the stairs into the piazza and they're like, Signora, piano, piano. Like, take a breath, sweetheart. You know, you're in Calabria and we have all day. So that's part of the culture there, is this relaxed lifestyle. Excellent local produce. Yes, I will say the fruits and vegetables down there in Calabria. And there's so many of them. All our neighbors had little garden strips. And we would open the door, there would just be this huge mass of beautiful vegetables. You couldn't eat them in a month of Sundays. I mean, it was crazy. The local produce, it just can't be beat there. And you have authentic Italian culture. Yes, you do. But you have that all over Italy. It's just that each region has its own authentic Italian culture. Depends on where you feel the most comfortable. Minuses, fewer international flights. You have Lamezia Terme, which we just fly into Rome and take the train down. We've always done that. It's a beautiful train ride down, not a big deal. Limited public transport, maybe. I mean, they have buses, and the buses go when they go, and you get on them and go. The trains are very good down there. They've been wonderful. Healthcare quality varies. Okay, that is true. I've read some things and I've heard some things about certain healthcare areas in Calabria, although I do know people who have had pretty serious accidents or illnesses and they've gone into the hospital and done quite well. So that's something you want to look into. Less nightlife and shopping, depends on where you go. I mean, there's nightlife. If you drive through Praia Mare in the summertime, there's nightlife. If you go down to the beaches in Scalea in the summertime, there's nightlife. So it depends on what time of year, it depends on where you go. I've found beautiful shopping down there. I've never had a problem with that. The other point is some towns are losing population, but again, that's happening all over Italy. All right, let's look at La Marche. Pluses, beautiful medieval towns. Yes. Adriatic beaches. Oh, the beaches on the Adriatic are very beautiful. Rolling countryside. Well, there's rolling countryside everywhere. In Tuscany, there's rolling countryside in a lot of places. It's lovely. It's lovely. Lower prices than Tuscany. Yes, that's true. Excellent food, from what I hear. Good health care. That's good. Less crowded. Okay. That's fine. This is new to me. I've only been through La Marche. I've never stopped or lived there or anything else. Minuses, smaller expat community. Is that a minus? Once again, you're going to be forced to talk to the locals and learn Italian. Another point is less international recognition. Okay, big deal. How is that going to affect your everyday life? Inland winters can be chilly. That's true anywhere up north, okay? The norther you go, the chillier it's going to be in wintertime. In addition, the more reserved the populace. As you go north, you're going to end up, going towards Switzerland and, northern Italy, Switzerland, Germany, those other places. It gets cooler and cooler in the wintertime, and the population gets a little more reserved from my observation. It says here public transport outside cities is limited. I don't know if that's true or not. I do depend a lot on the trains, and we found train access anywhere in Italy is very easy and very accessible. Airports offer few direct international flights. Fewer than what? Fewer than what? I don't know about the flight schedules or any of that, so it's something for you to look into. All right, let's look at Umbria. Similar scenery to Tuscany. That's true. We've been through Umbria. Very beautiful. More affordable than Tuscany? Probably true. Excellent food? Very likely true. Peaceful lifestyle. Okay, good. I think we do have a peaceful lifestyle. It's felt very tranquil as we've driven through. Historic towns, always. Good central location. It's nice. Umbria is known for its fog, though. So if you love fog, you're going to love Umbria. Minuses, no coastline. Okay. Hot summers, yes, everywhere. Some villages feel isolated. Okay, I think that's true all over Italy. That's from what I've seen. Public transport is limited. What do they mean? This is in Umbria. Okay, I'll take its word for it, the internet. I haven't checked that out myself. Liguria, pluses and minuses. Let's look at the pluses. Mild climate. Yay! Beautiful coastline, yes. Excellent seafood. Good rail network. Pretty much everywhere in Italy has good rail network. That's wonderful. Close to France. Okay. Nice, from what I understand, is very nice. There you go. Walkable seaside towns. Now, that's very beautiful. I want to visit Liguria because I'm just looking at these pluses going, this looks like a nice place to go for a weekend and just hang out. Some of the minuses. Ooh, very expensive property. Limited parking. Ugh, that's a deal killer right there. Crowded in summer, just like Calabria, probably parts of Puglia. Many homes have stairs. Okay, that's something to think about, especially when you're looking in the historic centers. Less available flat land. Okay, all right. So you have your overall pluses and minuses of these regions. Overall rankings, best overall, Tuscany. Best value, Calabria. Best beaches, Puglia, but I will also say Calabria. Abruzzo has beautiful ones too. Warmest winter, Sicily. Absolutely, it's farther south. Best authentic Italy, they say Abruzzo. I think authentic Italy is authentic wherever you go. Best food, Emilia Romagna. Okay, we didn't even talk about that. No, okay, Emilia Romagna I'm sure has very good food, but I don't think it can beat. Okay, here's a challenge. I'm throwing down the glove, right? I don't think it can beat Chianina beef. Emilia Romagna, would you like to weigh in on that in the comments? Thank you. All right, best compromise, La Marche. If you're going to move, don't compromise. If you like La Marche, great, go there. But if there's something else you want more, then go there. All right, best for culture, Umbria. Maybe, maybe not. But what this gives you is an idea. So you can obviously go through and go, okay, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. Get rid of those and go to the ones that you think are going to be the best. One thing I do want to mention, Calabria. Wildfires every year, and it does affect the air quality. And this year has been particularly brutal with the wildfires, so understand that. It is a problem. I know they're trying to get their arms around it, but let's just say after this year, there's a ways to go. Anyway, there you go. Choose wisely, and if you're interested in a certain area and you want me to focus on that, take a deeper dive, let me know in the comments. Also, go join our school community, because we can come in, you can get all the freebie handouts that we have. I've got little interesting tidbits and things that you can get that you won't get on the channel, and all of that. So go join the school community. It's down below. Go check it out. Oh, also, our feature film, Chasing La Bella Vita, is coming out in 2027. We are so excited about that, so stay tuned for that. Go to the Facebook page, Chasing La Bella Vita Movie, and join up there so you can stay in communication with us, see behind the scenes content, and see how the movie's going. Take care, guys.